Greetings all, my name is Sam. I'm a business owner and a business coach. Today I would like to talk about an important subject in business called the vision. So what is a vision in business? Why should we worry about it? In this video I'll explain why we need to have a vision and a mission, how the vision and mission are interlinked, what happens when we get it wrong, also how we can have aspirational goals to keep us going, to get the best out of us by motivating us, our staff and stakeholders. The vision is a straightforward subject for a very small percentage of the population who gets it, while for the rest it is either totally ignored or it's put under the too hard basket. If you haven't thought enough about your vision, then you need to trust me about this one. Nothing great starts without having a big and audacious vision. Please watch this video to the end, as I will elaborate further about why it is so important to have a vision, how to build one. Also, I will provide some examples to help you to achieve it. The vision is the real compass that shows you the true north. It gives us the drive to persevere through all of our life and business difficulties. The vision will keep you on track as life will shove you and shake you. But if you have a vision, then you can always dust the noise and it will motivate you to stand up again and continue marching towards your goals. Without it, we will simply not bother, especially when it's get tough. And I promise you, you will go through some tough times if you're in business. If you don't have a strong drive and a strong why, then you will simply quit when life throws at you many curly and complicated issues. Most people do not know where they are going. When you ask them, what do you want to achieve in life? They normally answer, I don't know. I might do this or do that, or I'm too busy, or I will see if I can join this course without knowing what that will take them. Just wishy-washy, nothing solid, no long-term clear vision, no clear and executable plan. Without clarity, you cannot be laser-focused and you will flounder or go into circles for many years, like I did for about 15 years of my life that I wasted in simply being busy, involved in the wrong stuff. You cannot let life take you for a ride. Instead, you got to control the outcomes. You got to align yourself in the direction of your vision. This will help you in keeping focused on achieving your targets. Unfortunately, people just wing it and move from one job to another, or from one thing to another, and try to keep busy, but not knowing if what they do is contributing positively to their aims or not. Also, many do not have aims at all. Only few understand the power of thinking big, have audacious goals, and create smart and executable plans for them to achieve their meaningful aims. Now, I'd like to explain another concept that is tightly associated with the vision. It's called the mission, or the why. The famous 19th century German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche once said, "He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow." It is a very powerful statement. I'll repeat it again. He who has a why to live for can bear almost anyhow. The mission is the why. I'll attempt to explain it further. Let's say that you have a big vision of building a successful business and you want to have a net worth of $10 million. Is this a good vision? Maybe yes and maybe no. It really depends on the why. Why you want 10 millions and what you're gonna do with it. Some say, I will buy a new car, a big home and travel. Are these good aims? Well, I cannot say that they are bad, but they are self-centered aims and not so motivating to others whom you want to employ to help you achieving your targets, as there is nothing in it for them for a start. I will tell you a little story. I have joined a motivation workshop in 2015 that was organized by one of the leading telecommunications companies in Auckland. I was invited, I was a subcontractor to them, and a few other subcontractors were invited too. The lecturer was asking a question about what was the subcontractor's ambition. One of them answered that he loves cars and he wants to use his profits to buy a fancy car. He was asked then, what would he do with the car? The answer was to drive around, as he likes driving. And he also wanted to impress the members of the opposite sex. You see, you cannot build a great company and you cannot motivate great staff to join you and give you their best long term if they cannot see that the company leadership is mature, have a solid future growth plans, and willing to share the knowledge and the financial rewards with the company stakeholders, so all can see their future linked to their leader's vision. This will make the journey a win-win for all. I also had a trivial aims initially when I started my business in 1995. I failed to hold employees or attract decent employees because my vision was very limited, as it was all about me, which was not so motivating to others. Why would people work their butt off to fulfill my selfish vision? My initial why was to earn a good income. That was not so motivating why for my associates. The vision and mission must be much bigger than just earning income. Your vision must provide a bigger solution for your extended family of employees, customers, and perhaps suppliers. Or it can provide benefits to the wider community, like providing smarter solutions for healthier environment, or provide healthier solution for your customers. And there's nothing wrong from having financial aspirations for you and your stakeholders at the same time. In fact, you must have great financial aspirations, because without proper profits, you cannot sustain whatever you are trying to achieve for too long. In my business, we use the term money is the bloodline, but not the spirit. I'd like to ask you, how important is your blood flow in your body for you? What happens if the blood stops from flowing in your body? Game over, right? Hence, it's so important to keep ourselves healthy so the blood keeps flowing, to allow our spirit to do magical things for our families and our wider communities. Hence, you must ensure that your operations is profitable with positive cash flow. Otherwise, your machine will halt and all the noble and personal aspirations will vanish with it. Staff wants to feel empowered, motivated, working in building solutions for the wider community, to give them the drive to make them proud of what they do. And at the same time, they want to see that they are appreciated and earning good income that helps them and their family to live a good life. Also want to see that they have a bright future. The first one that I've just described is the spirit, and the second one is the bloodline. You as the leader must nurture and grow both, not just for you, but for your associates, especially your employees and partners. In our Christchurch business, we were doing fiber internet connections. So we were building the internet connectivity in town. And that was the spirit that we were working on, to make Christchurch a better place by improving its internet network to be a world class. In Auckland, we are participating in providing civil works and services like water and power. So our team is participating in building a better and newer Auckland, rather than just looking at it as just putting a trench in the ground and lay fiber or a power cable. You need to align your team about the importance of their work and how it contributes to the wider community. Most people have narrow vision and they look at their task without thinking of how their task is providing greater value for their community. Okay, now I would like you to think of having two visions. One is a personal vision and the other is professional. The professional is related to your job or your business. You need to think of it this way. Your professional vision or aspiration needs to fulfill your personal vision. Let's say that your personal vision could be something like this. First, be financially free. Second, be able to help family and friends to make the right investment decisions. Third, participate in helping community by providing free business coaching lessons to small business owners. This is, of course, just an example. I personally believe it is important to aim for financial freedom, as with it you will have the time and funds to achieve your higher level aims. For example, without financial freedom, I wouldn't have the time to develop this program to allow me to help others, and hopefully it will assist me in writing my book, which will in return hopefully help thousands of small business people to avoid unnecessary suffering associated with a growing business and help them to reach their targets faster and with confidence. The professional vision needs to have the following components. First, it should aim to help at least your employees, customers, and other stakeholders. For example, it should help your people to be educated, also to help them to grow so they can help your company to grow at the same time. It should also help your people to budget better and hopefully guide them to buy their first home and build a retirement portfolio as an example. Second, it should generate enough income throughout the years to support you, so you can eventually have passive income coming from your business and from other investments like shares and rental properties. My vision was to build 100 service vehicles generating 100,000 of revenue per day. I came a bit short of this aim, but I still managed to build a substantial fleet that was generating significant monthly revenues for a number of years till I sold a big portion of this great business. During that, I have served not just my customers, but firstly, I've served my team very well from the bottom of my heart and soul. I still get phone calls and text messages regularly from my ex-employees in appreciation for what I did for them. And in return, they have given me more than 100% of their efforts. Thank you, Team Clear Vision and Team Christchurch. I love you so much. For the record, I had no money to purchase the vehicles and tools for this massive fleet of 77 vehicles. It was all borrowed from funders just because I had a laser-focused vision that made everyone believes in winning big. Hence, I managed to get the funding. If my vision was mediocre, then neither the funders nor staff would be willing to participate. The above are just my choice of higher aims. There is no right or wrong about what aims you should have, but it needs to be big and motivating. It needs to provide benefits beyond your own needs, so people can rally with you to help you achieving your big vision. You see, if you set things well, then you can go to work knowing that your whole team is working willingly to help you because the business is helping them. And if you plan it well, then you can turn your profits into income-generating assets like properties or shares or other form of investments. Of course, this will require patience for at least 5 to 10 years of focused effort. After that, you can step away a bit and spend more time in your community or whatever you want to do. For example, I want to explore the world, and I will hopefully do that once we are done with the COVID pandemic. Now I would like to define financial freedom because I believe it should be part of everyone's personal vision. Financial freedom for me is having a certain amount of passive generated income. This amount of passive income must allow me and my family to carry on with life and live comfortably if I was unable to work for possible sickness or accident, or just because if I decide to retire and not go to work. Keep in mind that we never know when our good health departs. It is not a subject that people like to think about, but the reality that we will lose our good health in some stage. Hence, you need to insure yourself against these events. I'm lucky enough to be insured because of my rental properties that I earned through the hard work to give me a passive income that I need to survive whether I work or not. In my book, To Be Financially Free and to Live a Decent Life for a Small Family of 4, you need about weekly net income of $2,000. This to cover for normal and abnormal expenses throughout the year. This figure is what I came up with by analyzing my family expenses. This figure will not make us rich, but it will give us decent living with allowances for local holidays and for one overseas trip for me and for my wife. You should also come up with your own minimum passive income that you need to live well with. Here's the math of how much you need annually for a passive income to support you your desired financial freedom. Let's say that you want a net of $2,000 after tax a week. Then we need to add the tax. Let's say that the tax is about 30%. So we need to divide 2,000 by 1 minus 0.3 equals 2,857.14 cents. This is the figure before tax per week. Now we need to multiply that by 52, the number of weeks in a year. So 2,857 by 52 equals 148,571.28. More or less 150K of annual passive income is required. So how many properties do you need to have to provide you with 150K of passive income? Let's say that you invest in home and income properties, i.e. properties that have two dwelling on the same section. This will provide you higher yield comparing to single dwelling properties. Depending on the location in New Zealand, you should be able to get close to 5% yield. Now we divide the 150K by 0.05. This equals 3 millions. So probably you need to have 3 home and income rental properties at about $1 million each. Your business should be able to provide you with a profit of $3 million within 5 to 10 years of highly focused operation. Then you turn these profits into personal assets like properties, for example. And these assets will generate the desired passive income. Remember, a proper business should provide you with the following. First, salary. Second, annual dividends. Third, lump sum pay out when you exit. There are many ways of directing these profits to help you building your passive income portfolio that is outside the scope of this video. It gets more interesting when you also mix it with aspects like capital gain of your assets portfolio and how to utilize that to leverage your portfolio further, and how eventually you can sell some to pay off the rest. If your business is unable to provide you with the above income streams, then there is something seriously wrong and you need to address it. This is just an example of how you can achieve your passive income by having home and income residential properties. There are many other ways to do it, like having a well-established business that runs without your input. Or you can include long-term investment in shares. You just need to have the right education and the will to start investing, even if you don't have the money. Investing is a must if you want to get rich. Many of the richest people started investing with little or no money. Email me if you like, and I can send you further information and recommended literature from the best brains in the world about this subject. To start working on achieving your big vision, you need to break it into achievable milestones. They say to eat an elephant, you need to eat it one a bit at a time. We will later go through how to create these plans and milestones that will help you execute your vision, as you will not need to worry about this massive vision at all times, but instead focus on the task on hand to achieve the milestones that you are in at the time. And the milestones will accumulate one after the other till you reach your vision. You might ask, how much should I aim for? In my book, having a net worth of 3 millions plus your own home is good. 5 million is much better, as you can live more comfortably. A greater aim is a vision of having $10 million of net worth. Aim high, and if you come a bit short, then it's fine. It is better to achieve 70 or even 50% of a great target rather than achieving 100% of a mediocre aim. I'd like to tell you about a concept called BHAG that was developed in the book Built to Last by Jim Collins. A BHAG is a short for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. Here are a couple of statements from Amazon about this concept. A BHAG is compelling long-term goal that's intriguing enough to inspire employees of your organization to take action. The BHAG requires both building of long-term and relentless sense of urgency. What do we need to do today with laser focus, and tomorrow and the next day to defy probabilities and ultimately achieve our BHAG? I hope I covered this important subject well, and I hope you can appreciate how important to start with having a great aim before you get busy working, so you can focus on what is important. Dr. Stephen Covey called it begin with the end of mind in his all-time best-selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So begin with the end of mind. Think what you want to achieve. Have a BHAG and a big, hairy and audacious goal to motivate yourself and your troops so you can all rally towards your BHAG. It will give you a reason to fight. Keep the stakeholders dedicated and well-driven with conviction and commitment to reach your professional and in turn your personal visions. In a nutshell, everything great in this world starts with a big audacious dream. Many of us sell ourselves short and not dare to dream big. You must dream big to open your horizon for massive possibilities and opportunities that our limiting belief system would override normally. As unfortunately we and the people around us can sabotage even the thought of thinking big. I covered this more in details in our previous video called Thinking Big. Well, dreaming is great, but it's worth nothing if it stays as a dream with no action. So in future video, we will talk about how to turn the dream or vision into long-term strategy and how to turn the strategy to smaller, workable yearly and monthly targets. So make sure that you subscribe and stay tuned. I have worked with people in the past that are dreamers who failed to translate the vision into action. Also worked with many more who are doers and failed to expand their horizon and refuse to think big. Both groups reaches mediocre results, unfortunately. So I encourage you to join the elite group by simply thinking big, believing in yourself, and have proper strategy and plans in place to execute your vision. I can help you building and developing your vision and tie it down with your new marketing analysis, also with your long-term strategy and execution plan, all together with your finance budget. This will give you a holistic understanding and clarity and make it all believable and executable, as it will also be broken down to what is needed to be done every week and day to achieve all what we went through today in details. If you have any questions or you would like to join Take You There program, then feel free to email me, sam@takeyouthere.co.nz, or visit our website, takeyouthere.co.nz. Also, please click like if you have enjoyed and benefited from this video. Thank you very much.